Flashing red and blue lights pierce the night as a sleek black car rolls to a stop on a quiet road. The driver, a well-dressed black man, grips the wheel, his face calm but alert. In the rearview mirror, two officers step out of their cruiser, hands hovering near their holsters. Their approach is aggressive, their voices sharp. License and registration. One barks before the man can even speak. He moves carefully, knowing all too well how these situations can spiral. But there's one thing these officers don't know. This isn't just any driver. He's an undercover FBI agent on a high-stakes mission, carrying classified intel that could change everything. The tension thickens as their hostility escalates. One officer reaches for his baton. The agent takes a slow breath. Does he reveal who he is, or let them make the biggest mistake of their lives? The agent keeps his hands visible, his heartbeat steady, but his mind is racing. He knows how this goes. One wrong move, and things could spiral. The officer gripping his baton steps closer, scanning him with suspicion. "What's in the car?" the other demands, his hand hovering near his holster. The agent keeps his voice calm. "Just my wallet, my ID." But they don't ask for it. They don't want answers. They want control. He glances at his dashboard, the hidden compartment holding a flash drive with government secrets, evidence that could expose something bigger than these two officers could ever imagine. But right now, none of that matters. Right now, he's just another man in their eyes, another target. The officer's grip tightens. Step out of the vehicle. The agent exhales slowly, his fingers brushing against his badge and his jacket. He has a choice to make. The agent moves slowly, his every action calculated. As he pushes the car door open, the cold night air rushes in, thick with tension. The officers step back, their stance rigid, eyes locked on him like he's already guilty of something. He keeps his hands where they can see them, his pulse steady, but his mind sharp. He's trained for moments like this, where power and prejudice collide, where the wrong reaction could mean everything. One officer steps behind him as the other moves closer. "Turn around," the officer orders. The agent doesn't resist, but he knows what's coming. A rough hand grabs his wrist, twisting it back. "What's the rush?" the agent asks, his voice measured. The officer ignores him, patting him down with unnecessary force. They're not looking for weapons, they're looking for a reason. Meanwhile, in the distance, a black SUV watches from the shadows. Someone else is paying attention. Someone who knows exactly who he is. The agent grits his teeth as the officer tightens his grip, pushing him against the car. He stays quiet, knowing anything he says could be twisted against him. The second officer rummages through his car, opening compartments, pulling out his wallet, his phone. "What are you hiding?" he mutters, flipping through the agent's ID. His fingers pause when he sees the badge tucked inside. For a second, the air shifts. The officer hesitates, his expression flickering between confusion and realization. But before he can react, the radio on his shoulder crackles. A call comes through, something urgent, something big. At the same time, the black SUV in the distance inches forward, its headlights flashing twice. A signal. The agent recognizes it immediately. He's not alone. And whoever's inside that vehicle isn't just watching, they're waiting. The officer holding his wrist hasn't noticed yet, but the agent knows time is running out. Something bigger is coming. The agent remains still, but his mind is racing. The SUV's signal was deliberate. Someone inside knows exactly what's happening. But is it backup? Or a new threat? The officer holding his ID finally speaks, his voice lower now. "Who are you?" His grip on the wallet tightens, and his partner notices the hesitation. "What is it?" he asks, still pressing the agent against the car. The first officer doesn't answer right away. Instead, his eyes flick toward the SUV, now creeping closer. He's realizing something is off. Then suddenly, static crackles through their radios again, but this time, it's not just another dispatch call. It's a voice, urgent, direct. "All units, stand down. That man is federal." Repeat, stand down. The words hit like a shockwave. The officers freeze, confusion and panic flashing across their faces. The agent finally speaks, his voice steady. I suggest you let me go. But before they can react, the SUV's door swings open. A figure steps out, one the agent wasn't expecting. And just like that, everything changes. The officers step back, their hands hovering near their belts, unsure of what to do. The agent straightens, rolling his shoulders as he watches the SUV. The figure stepping out moves with purpose, dark suit, controlled stance, eyes locked on him. Then the agent sees the face. His pulse skips. It's someone he never expected. Agent Carter, the man says, his voice calm but firm. We need to talk. Now. Carter knows that tone. It's not a request, it's an order. The officers glance between them, still tense, still processing what just happened. One of them finally speaks, voice tight. You were just about to make a mistake. The man interrupts, flashing his own badge. Step away. The officers hesitate, then lower their hands. Carter exhales slowly, his instincts still sharp, still questioning. The mission, the classified intel, the stop, was it all a coincidence? Or was he being tested? As he steps toward the SUV, the figure leans in. There's more going on than you think. Carter nods, his mind already working. The real mission is just beginning. Carter slides into the SUV, the door shutting with a heavy click. The city lights blur past as they drive, silence hanging between him and the man beside him. Finally, Carter speaks. That stop, was it a setup? The man exhales, eyes fixed ahead. Not exactly, but we knew they'd target you. He pauses. We needed to see how deep this goes. Carter clenches his jaw. He spent years uncovering corruption, but this feels different. Bigger. And, he asks. The man hands him a file. Those officers, just a small piece of the puzzle. There's more, a lot more. Carter flips through the pages, his pulse steady, his focus sharp. The night had started with a routine stop. Now it's something else entirely. As the SUV disappears into the night, one thing is clear. This mission isn't over. It's only just beginning.